Good day, everybody, and welcome to Building the Commonwealth. Good to see you, Barbarian. Happy Saturday to you, Groucho. Hope you all are both feeling fine on this wonderful day. We got a partly sunny day here down in coastal Texas. Yes, I know. You're following me, Codsworth. You're going to offer me things for sale. I don't want anything. Okay, so last week I was saying that we might want to do some high value buildings in the area that my platform is. But I was also thinking there's no municipal building here in town. So we might need to do something like a high-end building slash offices. And then over on that corner, probably going to have to remove those trees, but we're going to need to do some lower income housing, because we do probably need to have quite a few apartments for the people who are going to be required to work all this stuff to make it a functional community. And eventually we're going to have to move that beacon probably up to near the generator, because it's in a walkway right now. Last week we worked out this farmhouse in the center here and some apartments over on that side. And we are now coming into a much stronger community-looking environment. We do need to build a public restroom. We only have the one right now, and that's just not going to fly here in Starlight City. So I'm thinking the public restroom should be perhaps on the side over there, the kind of in the corner before the slums. I hate using that term because not all low-income housing qualifies as slums. You're just going to stay in the way. Got it. Wow. You're not just a dick, you're a magic dick. Okay. I think today we're going to work on this corner of the establishment while I still work out what the high-end section of town is going to be. I figure most of the lower income people are going to be around the schoolhouse and near the shops. Most of the higher income people are going to be around this side near the central offices of the city, which I think would go right in this little dip near the water here. Kind of call it a pond view, for lack of a better term. And then, of course, the hospital is right here. That's the platform that I told you I put up there in preparation for possibly some maintenance and security offices, as well as platforms for security turrets. And we will figure out what we're going to do with that relatively soon. But let's start by moving this, before I forget, all the way up top. And of course, we will not even plug it in until... Jet, good to see you. We're not even going to plug it in until we're ready to start populating this place. Because I'll tell you, the last thing I want to deal with is a bunch of unruly settlers who think that they own the place. I think that will plug in just fine. Of course, I will never be able to turn it on. There we go. Who cares if they can't climb up to it? Right? This is the access way to get up here, by the way. So as you can see, it gives a pretty commanding view of this entire roadside, which, being it faces Corvega up there, and we have caravan route for our... that's one of our provisioners right there. It's a pretty good bet that we're going to need to have some security up on this side. And I'm thinking below we can have another floor, but this one would be enclosed. And that would be a good place for maintenance offices and security offices, maybe some security bunks. So keep the general living area down here for the people who are living here. You know, you can hide the Jenny really nice in here, and I'd be happy to, except for currently it's the location of all my sleeping bags, because this counts as a roofed environment, and that's how I end up with 27 beds right now. But as I add beds over on this side, I'll start subtracting things on that side. So eventually I may be able to use that area for something. But I kind of like having the generator way up on the roof, because in realistic terms, it's shielded from the roadside by that metal wall I put up there. It's going to be hard to be damaged. Yes, I know in game, in a settlement attack, I'll probably have to repair it. But no point in crying about that now. Okay. Let's... What is that? Is that a bloatfly? It is. I suppose we killed a bloatfly while I wasn't paying attention. Clear out everything over here that is clearable. Because the way I have it figured, we're probably going to have 2 or 3 levels of housing on this side. And get drive-in fan. Get rid of that. Don't need it. This junk can lay under here because it helps prevent things from getting under. Well, from that side anyway. I can still walk under here. Don't need to remove that vine. can get rid of this trash. This is a good spot for a trash can. Haven't decided if I'm going to keep the Nuka-Cola machine or if I'm going to dump it in favor of one that quote-unquote works. But for now, it's right there. I already have my headcanon working out a way that these phones will end up being used as actual communication devices inside the community, so we're going to save those. Murmelneer! How's my favorite Doug on the internet today? I like keeping these boxes. You should have fallen. There you go. Okay, so we need a restroom, which is right about where Codsworth is occupying. Thank you, sir. So let's start with that structure. It's going to need to have a good foundation that allows for drainage. Get out of the way, Cods. Codsworth. Codsworth. Move. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to need like a separate restroom and shower. Yeah, something that would service a good number of people, but probably isn't actually servicing all that many because they're too busy to get clean. And yes, I know how disgusting that sounds. These don't snap to this at all, right? I think we discovered this last time. These will snap to this, though. And then this snaps into here. Okay. Stand by one moment, please. Okay, I think that moves too far into this area. So let's do it to the sides. Like that. Because I don't want it to be eating into this area because this is going to be apartments. So now we need to figure out how we're going, which toolkit we're using, and I do believe I'm going to use the barn kit. I really love the elements of the barn kit. I think we'll use the only solid wall facing that way. I think the central wall can be a windowed wall, so we'll use this one here. And then we'll build that up with the and we're going to need solid walls on this side too, because one side of this is showers. So, and one side is toilets, which, although not lovely to have a bunch of openings in the walls, on one side they're not going to be all that visible, and on the other they are going to be backing apartments, probably without windows. So, or at least no windows facing that way. So on this side over here, they're not going to have anybody standing here staring in at them. Well, that's the other thing, too, you know, toilets do need some good ventilation, so it does make somewhat perfect sense. Now let's put some roofing up. I do believe that this would probably be the better roof. Get some half walls in here. Come on. Snap the way I want you to. You want to snap every way but the way I want you to. But that one will snap the way I want you to. Okay. I don't get it. Not my thing, right? I'm not supposed to get it. Get in the right place and it'll do what you want. Okay. Now, this is going to be where the sinks are. This is going to be where the toilets are. And as a public toilet house, it's not going to be very different from, for example, the ancient Romans, who could hold conversations with people they didn't even know. Then on this side, we're going to have some showers. And I do think that will be found in here. As long as I find the correct category. It's not in there, it's in here. Now, which one of these looks like it's clean and which looks dirty? Because I don't want to use the really clean one. Guess they both look semi-clean. That one's out of the question. That one's not quite up against the wall. Four people at a time. Plenty of room for the shower. We're not going to pretend that they have access to really great toilets. Yep. Enjoy each other's company. This is not a private space. Come on. There we go. That one wouldn't have any water coming out of it. The only thing that I really dislike about this is that they only give you one broken sink that looks like it could actually have water moving. Now granted, this is just USO. There's a mod that gives you working showers and bath that has many more sink options, called craftable working showers and sinks, I believe is the title of it. I do use that in other build profiles, and there are many more versions of this sinks available, so it's not like it's completely useless. Signs. There we go. Can't see what they say. It's a shame they don't have one that says showers. Gonna check to see if they have one, but I'm pretty sure I already did this check once before. Doug, these are all just for looks. USO does not have a lot of working objects. Which, big surprise, it's really there to give you it's there to give you options that in from the game itself, but mostly for decoration purposes. I mean, they even have a huge category of beds that you can't sleep in, for example, which is, pardon me, overly annoying in my book. Because why do I need beds I can't sleep in? Near as I can tell, I don't actually need beds I can't sleep in. I need beds that people can sleep in. Pardon me, please. Willing to wager that's going to be too far for it, but I'm going to give it a try. Obligatory falling off the end of the ladder because I didn't know where the last step was. Yeah, that's too far for it. Let's see if I can get it by getting on the end, though. Because I'd rather not glitch anything more than I have to. Yep. And this will let me put one at the other end, I'm sure, which will also give me... Wow, that's way higher than it needed to be. As is that one. So let's deal with those first. Hopefully they don't look stupid from the inside. And although I may not actually need to reach both ends of the building with that, I do need it for the purpose of... Alright, that doesn't look bad. That one doesn't look bad. I do need it so that it can bring power to the apartments as well. The restroom signs is awfully small, but it is what it is, right? And there we have a down and dirty place for the common man to poo. If I sound somewhat silent from time to time, I apologize. My wife brought me a lovely little tray of sausage and crackers, and I don't want to chew in your ears. But it's also very enticing. Yeah, cram for dinner would probably not go over well with your neighbors. Took all damn game day to get that done. Indeed. My wife still knows that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Which is far better than the way I would get there, which is between the fourth and fifth rib.
He's doing housework.
Go do some housework. Codsworth. Again, the only reason he's with me now is because of finding him randomly in a place I didn't send him. Oh, look at that. People walking about. Now let's figure the apartment situation. I'm thinking the back here is high enough that we can have a tier here that is basically above a lower tier. Yeah? So if we need it high enough that the ground floor tier is completely beneath it, right? And I'm out of wood again. Jump in Yemeni. Yes, Codsworth, I know you're going to say something pithy. Necessarily, the ones back here are, of course, going to be accessed by some kind of walkway, and I'm thinking that the way to get that walkway... Wow, I didn't get that even close to straight, though, did I? Let's move that out of the way. Straighten that on the... ones behind it. Okay, that's... That's not going to be high enough now. So let's move that out of the way. Let's get that higher. And back a little bit. And this front end is going to be a little bit floaty, but it's not going to become an issue. And I'll explain. Well, I don't need to explain because y'all have played this game for a while. You're never going to see that behind the walls of the first floor. And of course, this whole bit has to shift to the right a little bit. Nope. I'm moving the walls. Moving the exterior walls. So let's get... We'll reset those after I get the bottom set properly. And that one needs to come out. So we store that temporarily. Now it is not going to interfere with that at all. Great. Wow, it's still grabbing those back there. Oh, I know why. Duh. I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree some days. There we go. Okay, so we know we're going to be building back here as well, but this is probably going to end up being the walkway around. These do not snap sideways onto anything, but they snap to themselves lengthwise, right? So I'm thinking we're going to have a walkway off of here. There's going to be a couple of little hovels along there, a bunch along here. We might need some open planks in the center. And I think we've got a good start here. So let's see. That one's really kind of over the edge there. I don't want to... We can actually go just a little low there, actually. Now what I'm thinking is I've found a way to trap myself, right? No. So that actually works pretty good, height-wise. it's a little floaty, so we need to raise this up a little bit. And right there should do it. From above, it's not letting me grab it and just shift. So let me see if it does from below. Yep. Just need to be a big enough landing that they can walk on. I think that does it. These don't snap to this, do it? No, of course not. That would make it easy. Let's turn surface snap off. And I'm figuring I need to do that because I'm trying to get to this level. I might need a second step down, but let's see. These won't snap to the bottom of these steps, but they will place relatively well. Yes, you can walk under them. See how we're doing. I want to change up the look just a hair. You know, I'm a fool, but at least I recognize that. The better place to put the almost unsupported part. How did I end up using the same piece twice? I thought I used a different piece. Oh, it is a different piece. Okay. The spot that makes more sense to be up here. Let's get it. No, not snapped. The reason that makes more sense is because then the walkway here ends up being over the existing sidewalk. We didn't have to cut a hole in concrete to make a walkway. That might be the right level to keep going. Dog! Sorry I didn't see you coming in. Okay, I can see this being a settler-built bridge. Not going to be able to use a full piece there. So these are going to need wood walls, balconies. And there's some that are... I have to answer a phone call. Please wait. Sorry about that, folks. Had a delivery rerouted due to a truck issue. And because of that, the head office told me, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll let them know that they're getting it for you, and we can have them send it on their truck to us." So, naturally, what happened? It didn't, the information never got forwarded. I don't feel like that's far enough back. I mean, on this side, it can't realistically go further back, but... how creative can I be with walls? I wonder. I want to try something here. Could be a complete failure. But that's what experimentation is all about, right? Now, of course, it would have to face this way. If I put this right on here like this, and then this one on top, it's a little bit of a gap, but now what happens if I put a roof piece in? It makes some ugly housing, doesn't it? I like ugly housing. Silver Fox. Good evening. Glad you could come by. Now the $50 million question is, can I put this in here? Of course not. And if I put that one in there, I'm not going to be able to put another roof piece on, am I? Nope. So that's not going to work entirely, but I may be able to use the half wall that comes with this set. Did I just have a tree show up while I was... Here, look at this wall and ignore the tree. Okay, so I can do that. That's good to know. So let's get the roof all in place. And it says, screw you, I won't snap on the last one. Because of course it won't. Wow, it's really saying screw you. Screw you, Jack. You don't get to do this. Okay, so I have to be smarter than your average bear. So let's put that aside. We already know we're going to need some doors. So this piece is going to have to go in here like so. Let's play with our controller. Gonna need another half wall. Two, actually. I want to put this one on the end here. This one in here. Might be able to get away with placing that by doing this. It'll place the half wall that way, so let's ask it to do the door that way. And now that I'm down on the ground, I can't seem to make it do anything. snapping off. These folks are just the poor common folks of the land. They'll probably never actually path up here. The way I'm thinking it, these guys are gonna need those angled roof pieces. They might snap. Everybody's got their own private little cell. Here we have the second floor apartments. Now we have to work on the first floor. I might be able to sneak a hovel or two in over here as well. I'll work on that in a second, though. Is it really getting that late in game time? How tall are the barn walls? Can I get away with putting a barn wall up here? Did I need the railing if I'm putting that barn wall up there? 'Cause taking those rails down would definitely save me a little bit of... Oh, I would not need the railing. Only need it in the spots where there's holes in the wall. Save a little bit of build budget. give them basically the same depth as the people upstairs. I want a solid wall on the bathroom side. And between each cell, if I can. And I don't mind a broken wall on the outside. Will they consider that a pathable doorway? We'll find out, right? How do we get them up there? I'm thinking... I really do like the scaffolding wide stairs. But I might have to place those manually. Yeah, they don't like snapping here. That's okay. Running out of daylight, I know. Let's have a seat until the morning time. A Cat's Paw film studio at Hangman's Alley. I'm going to want to see that, dog. I want to see the studio, not the product, all right? Sentry Bot Fisto. I don't think it's going to take Curry long to figure out what Fisto's speciality is. I have a question that's dying to be answered. Do regular roofs snap to barn? I want the one with the shallow pitch. There we go. They do not snap to barn pieces, do they? That's okay, because there's plenty of barn roofage to choose from. Including flat. That little hole doesn't matter. That person probably wants a little bit of privacy. So let's give him something to... Testing. How's the snap work for the rails here? Not at all. He said and then discovered he was wrong. That looks stupid. But I know what I can do with that. We will lock that and move it down inside the roof. And unlock it, and it's done. The apartments in front effectively become the screen for the back. The railing, I should say. Now let's see if I can get a foundation piece behind here. Well, obviously with place anywhere I can. It was a matter of would it fit space-wise, and it does. Doesn't look like it's floating. Couple of ill-planned apartments over here. Actually, let's do that one as a back wall. It does not want to snap at a right angle there. Maybe a roof piece will make it snap better. There we go. Yes, I do believe we're getting there. Might need to use the interior doors just because of how far it sticks out. Interior wall doors it is. And these do not snap. I don't even think doors snap to them. If I'm not mistaken, this... And somebody can correct me if I am mistaken. This piece comes from the Constitution. While I'm here, put the roof I want on there. I want the shallow angle. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, that's definitely too high. That's better. Let's take a look at our shanty town from a bit of a distance. Kind of like it. Will this pop out and be happy to pop back in? Reluctantly, it'll pop back in. So let's try and get some variation in here. Because we have the retextures, which of course has all these wonderful pieces in different colors, which of course that's identical to the piece right next to it, but originally it had a solid one. And then up top I can get rid of that now. I can do one of these guys over if it'll snap in return. It is very unhappy about re-snapping. So what about this one? That one will re-snap. So let's go with blue. Get some variation in here. These folks didn't have all identical pieces to work from. And this one, I believe, will re-snap. It will. Let's... Now let's take a look at it from a slight distance, see what our shanty town's starting to look like. Yeah, a little bit of broken up. Maybe that one on the right front could be replaced. That will re-snap. It just tried to snap an entire building. That's impressive to me. Yeah, let's snap this entire building on there for you. Okay. I think it's starting to look like the right kind of crappy, guys. A warehouse piece might actually be a great piece. And this one, I didn't think they would path in that anyway. So let's select a warehouse wall. Excellent thinking, dog. That's definitely the right kind of crap. I like it. Now, we all know that these folks are just scrounging to get by. Yeah, they're the kind of people who probably only have a few caps a week available. Can't really afford to fix the wall, so put a curtain up to keep some light out. Keep some semblance of privacy. Hey, not my nephew. How's it going, pal? Put my controller down for a second so I can get another piece of sausage. Good Lord. Good Lord. The mute button is the bane of my existence. This won't even... If that opened in, it would clip through that awfully. But opening out works perfectly for this. Okay. This is the crappiest place in town, and I love it. I don't believe there is a horizontal plank filler in USO, but I know it's in some other mods that I use on other profiles. But I absolutely love this crappy house. And my apologies for going, 10 minutes with the mute button on again? Good Lord, I'm an idiot. Technically, I wasn't gone, Mark, but yeah, thanks for the welcome back. All right, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to do back here. Maybe it's going to be forgiving and let me put some of these... Oh, it will. So I could put that there like that. And then I can turn the other one around and wedge it in here like this. The crappier this looks, the more I love it. Now, granted, I am using Place Everywhere. But I honestly believe with a fire and a pillar, you could actually build that exactly the way I did. I'm not the expert. You'll want to check with Shek and Sar if you want to know 100% for certain. But that son of a gun sure seems doable. I bet that's a 2 cap a month apartment, but he's got his own little apartment. Whoever lives there is definitely, he's my favorite settler. Now let's look at it from up above, and then we'll take our break. Groucho Snark. I was actually mesmerized by it because I muted so you guys wouldn't have to listen to me chew. And then forgot to turn it back on when I got mesmerized by the shack. I am really liking the way that looks. It definitely looks like the crap part of town, low rent, which is what I wanted. I wonder if somebody could live under the ramp. And we know that somebody could get in from over here. And compared to the crap shacks, this is actually spacious. I might be able to do something back here. Let's try that after the break, because we're going to take a quick 5 to 8 minute break, refill our drinks, and or get snacks, stretch our legs. When I come back, I'm going to reset the size bar. We've already reset it once, so this is size bar number 2 that's been filled up. By the end of size bar 3, things are going to start getting decidedly choppy here. So we're probably not going to want to go beyond size bar 3. I will be back in 5 to 8 minutes. I am back. I hope everybody had the opportunity to stretch their legs and get themselves whatever they were looking for. Find a nice clear stretch of ground. I find it they don't scatter as much on me when I drop them. If I'm crouching. Give it a couple of seconds. Thank you, King. Well, Silver, settlers will take almost anything for housing, as you well know. If it's got a roof, they're happy with it. That's 10. This is PC, dog. I use an Xbox controller on the PC because I'm used to playing with controllers. But definitely the PC has so many more mods available. $20. $30. Some of the racing games can be fun, but I suck at them. I don't know if it's just the difference between driving a vehicle and the controller not being exactly the same, or if it's more or less I just suck in general. But I am a fairly good driver. The only accident I've ever been in was not my fault. The exciting reset of the size bar. On the plus side, should only take 5 more. So there we have it. 45 gamma guns is the size of Starlight Drive-In. Now, maybe 1 or 2 more. I think we're close enough. Dog, now you're asking me to do things that require things like intelligence. You should know that's beyond me. I'm still loving this shitty little house. I need to turn the surface snap back on. Just a little askew. Because I can't imagine he really cares about things being awfully neat in his hovel. His or her hovel. I keep forgetting that I haven't actually hired anybody to settle here. Who knows what we're going to have for people? Before I forget, I need to power all this stuff. So let's try and put this one on the junction between 2 there. This one can go up here. Probably going to need to be right on the junction here again. And I fall off, because that's what I do. That's my shtick. Yeah, 40 years, it's tough habits to break, that's for sure. If he's not a gamer, he's not a gamer. That's Just the way it goes. This person's connector probably gonna be this one here. Actually, let's be ridiculous. Now let's find out if I've got the ability to light everything. That's too far, but not on this side. So if I only put light on this side of this room, that's got enough power. And because those are evenly split, they should have enough power. So the only one that's not definitely got enough power is the ones on the end, and as long as their light is towards the center, we're good. What are we shooting at, guys? Where the hell did you come from? Jeez Louise.
Well, he certainly doesn't need that anymore.
All right, dog, you take care. Thanks for coming out. Enjoy your walk with the dogs. I'm going to get all these doors open before I lay me down to sleep. Or sit me down to wait, as the case may be. I don't think I need it to be dark to get the lights in place. Random red scorpion shows up. Like he belongs here or something. Let's get some furniture going in each of these places. We know we need beds. And we know these folks are getting crappy beds. But we also know that people tend to do things just a little different from each other. So try and get some variety in the way we put things out. I love how cramped it is over here. This guy needs a chair. Something crappy he found in the wasteland. These two have lights. This one doesn't even have furniture yet. He can have a chair too. Something he carted in here thinking, wow, this looks awfully nice. And what light does he get? Rob's favorite light. Of course, Rob's favorite light doesn't think that this is a tabletop. little closer to the bed. Something that he might be reading with or might just shut off right as he comes home. He needs a container. Maybe he's one of the lucky ones found a big dresser. But his chair finding was not as good as everyone else's. All he found himself was a folding chair. Okay, this person needs a dresser. And he needs a light. This person also needs a light. And he needs a chair. And something to put his clothes in. So let's get him a chair. And although he couldn't find himself a dresser, he did find a object with lots of drawer space. That'll have to do. I don't think he's going to be able to get in to his chair. Maybe. If I do this. There we go. Whole new amount of room. And the chair is sittable. Codsworth, stop whistling. You don't have lips. Okay, he has a dresser, a light. All the second floor places have light, bed, dresser, and all but one has a chair. Not everybody's going to think that they need a chair. Some people think, oh, I can just sit on my bed. Everybody down here has a bed. Let's get some dressers in here. This son of a gun came here from Diamond City. So if we can plug a hole in the wall with a bookcase, I can block it with a dresser. And by gum, he is right. It does block the hole in the wall. Now, he does not have any light. So instead of giving him a floor light, I'm going to give him a ceiling light. Maybe he raided a nice place. Doesn't he feel fancy now? And something to sit on. Let's see if this little sofa would work. You know why it works? Because there's a hole in the wall that the corner sticks through. But it works. So he's all decked out. He needs a chair. And some kind of dresser. It's not in this one, is it? I could use a file cabinet, because there's got to be a file cabinet or two in some of these buildings nearby. And it sort of makes sense. What is that jumping up on? There. He has something to put clothes in. He needs a light. It's going to get very interesting looking at nighttime, I guarantee it. There is... I'm not remembering... There it is. But there's one of those that's got doors on it. Ah, separate doors. Okay. There. That's better. This person can have a chair. Right here inside his door. Something nice and comfy to take his shoes off with. One more person here. Let's give him a stool to sit on. Because not everybody found just a chair. He also found a little file cabinet to act as his dresser. But he found a nice little light. Possibly something that was in a container. That gives him his place. We have given all the hovels some furniture. We have given our bathroom some light. Let's get some light on the exterior of this. And again, up top, we're going to need some light. Up here. That's floating like crazy. Well, it doesn't want to get placed the way I want it to, so let's try doing this. Much better. I can already imagine what it's going to sound like when you're in your room and somebody's walking back and forth. It's awesome. All right. Now they're going to need to have some reason to be here as well. But let's see what we can do underneath here. Take care, Doug. Russ, sorry I missed you coming in. Welcome aboard. Now, this is nowhere near the angle. So let's do this. Do you see how far out from that wall that rust sticker sticks? That's a wide rust spot. Okay. Got some craptastic little spot deck back here. Yeah. Now that's not going to work for this one because you'd walk into that wall. Let's use this on the inside here. That covers that up. Yeah, whoever came up with the idea that he was going to live in here absolutely loved him some free space. Wow, I just managed to place those things and I can't touch them again. we go. Now I can touch them again. Oh, now it's stuck. There we go. Ooh. Let's make it look like he can close this off a little bit. There we go. He's got a spacious little home back here. Let's get him some furnishings, huh? I'm imagining the guy who did that is a scavenger. And as such, he scavenged himself up a nice bed. Help if I put the headboard against the wall, 'cause that's how most people sleep. Bedside table. Little table over here. And maybe he figured out where to get a table where you could eat at home. Should he want to. He's still kind of chintzy on his chairs, though, because he's using scavenged chairs. Now he needs something to put his clothes in. Get that right up against the wall. And make sure it's not floating. Make sure I can sit down. Can't sit there. Might be because how low the roof is. I can sit there. Might also be because of the position I put the chair in. So let's reposition the chair and see if that helps. I can sit now. Does he have power down here by being close by those other outlets? He might. If he does, it'll be on this wall over here. He's got power. Now, of course, he needs my favorite light. And that does not have power. Interesting. I can fix that. Because that power just needs to come down here. I'm eventually going to need to bring power over here anyway. That should give me power on that nightstand, and it does. Now then, I've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. 4 and 8 are 12, so that's 12 sleeping bags I can get rid of. I think I don't have 12 back here, so I think I can get rid of all the sleeping bags back here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somebody was sleeping back here. Wow. 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 11 sleeping bags back here. And one person was actively using it, so hopefully they'll reassign themselves. And because this guy is a scrapper, he needs a scrapping station. He probably nailed it up against this ramp when he put it up here. I don't think that he worried about it being even with the top when he put that metal piece up against there. And he can have some storage underneath. Whoops, that's in the ramp. Get off the ground. There we go. And probably actually put some real barrels and such there. No? There. Barrels and baskets and crates, oh my. Okay, I need to turn off surface snap to go underneath there. Okay, so he probably hiding it in the back so that few people will notice it, but he doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong with a radiation barrel or two. If they're still solid, that is. So from the right angle, you can see it's there. But the average person isn't going to notice. And now that I've put that there, I'm probably going to end up with him sitting underneath there doing that welding thing when I finally find somebody to use that. He's sitting at the bar that is not manned. There is a bar mat here, though. You know, there's a bar that actually serves things on the other side of town. I'm glad we got to some darkness so I can see what the lighting looks like over here. Let's get some real darkness to look at the lighting. I am glad I didn't try and push last week when I didn't feel creative, because to me this actually feels like I would not have come up with this. And I think I would have been cheating myself and you guys out of a really good build. What did I give him for light? Did I give him a... Oh yeah, I gave him that light, okay. He's got some light spilling in from his neighbor, that's good. This guy down here, he can't be without light. We'll give him my favorite light next to his bed. But he also needs some candlelight. He doesn't have a chair. He needs a chair, doesn't he? Let's see. He doesn't get a real chair. He gets... Which way is this facing? Okay. Face this towards me. He couldn't afford a real chair, but he could afford that. We have all our happy campers set up with places to live. There's very little repeat in texture over there, which I like. They have their restroom. That needs some underpinning right now, so let's get some... turn off surface snap so I can actually go up under here. There is a pair of showers here and here. One here. And one there. And then down here, we know that there's toilets. I'm not too worried about gray water from the sinks flowing down. Because we don't care about that wasteland OSHA showing up and telling us we're breaking some kind of rules. Helena! Well, I hope you're having a fine dinner. That's a little bit nice looking. Let's see if there's a crappier looking ramp. Not really. There's that one and that one. One with some plywood would be nice, but bathhouse feels like a bathhouse. They're going to need something in the center here to make it feel like a little community. Maybe actually we'll have a little bit of a square shack here. Ooh, I could put 4 more hovels. But that'll wait till daylight. Because I know how hard it is to see, guys. It's a lot easier for me to see than it is for you. We had pardon me, one more hovel here. Let's get that low enough that that looks like it's I could do a 4x4 hovel right here. It narrows down this street. It's a little bit more realistically placed. It narrows down the street, and it makes this more of a grungy neighborhood. Might even be able to do another one separate right here. Yeah. Kermit the Frog. Let's see how inventive. Pardon me, please. I have object snap off, don't I? Nope. How's this going to break this up from here? It's going to kill some sight lines, but it's definitely going to make this more of a shadowy, nasty part of town. I like that. Are you serious? Okay. Bill, daughter. Okay. Let's see how ridiculous this looks. Because I could see something like that being done. I don't know. I don't think I like it. I like that a little bit better. Definitely think I like that a little bit better. Gonna move this wall. And this wall, though. And then this wall. And this wall. That way, nobody goes in on the same wall. And I bet that little two-step won't go up there. So I have to manually place that. Although it seems like it's probably not really worth building a step, as most of us know from game experience, the stupidest thing can stop somebody, an NPC, from walking into something. That's not centered on the door. That could, in fact, be an issue. There. Now they're going to need power as well. Looks like I'm going up top again. Now all 4 of these should have power. So now they need some doors. And once we place the doors, it'll pretty much be time to recap what we've done on the stream. That one opens out. Now it opens in. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today, and let's go over what we've managed to build down here in Shantytown, here in the Starlight City build. As I told you last week, we needed a sort of in this corner of the facility, so we started by putting the public bathhouse here, which you can see has a fairly open concept, low privacy toilet area, sinks to clean up with, and of course showers so that, you know, if you've been working hard, you can get some of the day scraped off of you. This is, of course, right up against the border wall here, so there's not a whole lot going on in this area. We may, in fact, put a turret station right here. There was a turret on this wall, on this area before I started building, so returning it there is probably going to be on some sort of stand. Then we came over and we started building this lovely hovel up. We've got our friendly neighborhood low rent housing. Each of these is very much laid out individually and given a nice little bit of individual furnishings, but also some pizzazz by giving it some different coloration. We got a couple of houses squeezed in here along the exterior wall. Folks found some room to build themselves a little bit of a shack up here. And my absolute favorite of the day will be the last one we highlight. We're walking past it right now. As you can see, by building this with the barn walls, it becomes the railing for the second level up here. And this one has a piece of rail on it because there's a hole in that wall. Again, we have some simple housing up here, broken up by having different textures for the face on here. And this is actually done with a balcony piece pushed in here on the end. And then instead of putting the normal balcony edge wall in, or the end wall, I'm not sure what it's actually called, the half wall with the slanted roof, we pushed a half barn wall in here and put the top barn wall that hooks to the roof in on the end, which then enabled us to put the slanted roof from the barn in place all across here. And it actually is sitting just below the balcony, the shack balcony roof. It looks kind of crappy, which is kind of what I wanted. My absolute favorite part of this day's build are these two little hovels down here. This little guy built in underneath the walkway. Got himself tight little quarters in here, but definitely he can walk in and get himself out of the weather. And our scavenging station over here. Some storage underneath the ramp. He created himself a beautiful little place to sleep and be right near his shop. All of this is the low rent district of Starlight City. This is a 4 apartment block here, which they are currently undecorated. We'll take care of decorating that as we go. There may in fact end up being another little 1 or 2 square shack right here where I'm standing, making this a little alley in between the two, making this walkway a little bit more of an alley, and of course that leads up to his door, so we don't want to go too far this way. But and we will go up to our perch to get the overview. I don't think we need to be in build mode anymore. Codsworth will of course corner me up here and trap me until next week. And from up here you can see how that corner of the Starlight Drive-In has gone from being just a couple of trees to a severely overpopulated region of the Starlight City. Those are probably going to be mostly people who make a living by scavenging and selling to our scrapper right there underneath the ramp. Thank you, Groucho. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who stayed with me for the up to 3 hours, including the almost 20 minutes that I spoke to you with the mute button on. You guys are great. I love your comments. I love your interaction with me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. You really make this an enjoyable thing to bring to you. I hope that you're enjoying getting it from me. With that being said, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone knows that you're looking out for them. Until next time, hopefully, fingers crossed, Monday night, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. I've been having some issues with Mondays and internet service around here lately, but I think they've straightened things out, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Y'all take care, and I'll see you then.